Okay, so I just ate my daily bag of gravel, and a little while ago I asked you guys to suggest some mods for The Last of Us, so let's not faff about anymore, let's get straight to it. Okay, the first one, I got many requests to delete Bill. Now, I didn't get him all in my first try, so he's still got his machete and his hair and his mask, but he sort of works in this state. Like, he follows you around, but if you go down to the door here, he kind of runs down here and just crouches at the wall. Doesn't really do anything, so you're kind of stuck. So then I tried again, and I removed every model of his, every animation, so this kind of happens like that. And he just sort of like gets up on his own, and then like obviously since Bill's not here, nothing had happened. You can't pass through the door, you can't continue. So this was pretty much a waste. Okay, so this one was requested by a lot of people, and it was to remove the car from the very start of the game. Now, obviously it doesn't exist, so the model's invisible. So Sarah goes and sits in an invisible car. Watch Joel's leg, it kind of like breaks. And then this happens. So, yeah. Okay. And then they just disappear. And Sarah's kind of just stuck in this sitting position with the headlights, the invisible headlights shining right on the house. So if you restart encounter, Sarah can now walk around outside, which we've seen before in another video I made. So she just kind of walks around. And if you press L1, she sort of snaps back to where the car was, but now you can't walk around anymore. You can just look around. So I reset again. And I try and walk a little further. And when you get about this far, the game just sort of infinite loads, so it has basically crashed at this point. Okay, the next request is to delete Bill from the truck pushing scene. So here I am getting up to that part with Bill already deleted, and for some reason the ladder just does this when Bill's not around. And I just fall through the ground and we both die. But then I tried it for a little bit, and then I've managed to figure out how to get over the fence. So if I just fiddle around, then I can jump over the fence into the backyard. Now, Ellie falls out of the map now, and she dies, which resets the checkpoint. So what I did was I then deleted Ellie, and then tried to get over the fence into the backyard. So we just boop. And since Ellie doesn't exist, she can't die, so the game doesn't reset. So now we're in the backyard of the house that has the truck in it, and there's, I think I'm the first person to ever get into the backyard, possibly, but I know I've never been in this backyard before, but this is, so it's pretty cool to be able to go in here. So I saved ahead, and then I loaded here while Bill was deleted, and so Bill's not here, Ellie got in the truck. So we press triangle on the truck, we wait, the garage door seems to open by itself, and then you can't do anything. You can't do a single thing, even if Ellie is also deleted. The same thing happens, so you just soft lock the game. Now the next request here, so was to remove the truck entirely. So Ellie just sits in midair. There she is, just like hanging out. And yeah, so yeah, you can't do anything. The game is once again soft-locked. It's a nice try, though. Oh, by the way, there are no checkpoints further throughout this part of the game in this section, so I can't get them outside and then delete the truck. I can't do that. Next thing. Okay, so this request was to remove the armored truck from this chase part of the game. So, as you can see, the doors are kind of opening by themselves. And I guess there's no real danger here. You don't die or anything, but if you point your ass to that part of the level and just back into it, then you can go backtrack right back into this area right here. And but there's nothing much to do out here, but you can go there again. So there's that. Okay, this is when you open the gate. So there's absolute silence. You're not in any kind of trouble here. And then magical bullets. So there's that. And then when you get to the bridge, silence again and an opening gate, so we can go close up to the gate here. And just kind of opens. You can't get back through there because it closes too fast. But yeah, so you're in no danger here. You can take as long as you like to walk around and look around this place. Unless, of course, the game crashes like it did for me. And so, next request. Okay, for this one, it was to remove the armor truck from the sniping part. Now you can see there's no truck here, but the guy inside the truck throwing the Molotovs seems to be just floating through the air here. And you can shoot him all you want, but he won't die. And if you watch him closely, he kind of just like, in a little bit, he'll do his thing. His legs just go all over the place. This is where you're supposed to be able to shoot him. So he's just, yeah, they didn't really animate the bottom half of his body because you're never supposed to see it. But then he kind of just drops down out of the truck and just walks around a little bit, and he's still invulnerable. So that was odd. That was certainly odd indeed. Okay, next request. So this one was to remove Ellie's gun from this part of the game to see what happens when she shoots the hunters. And this is what happens. Not much to say, but they kind of just have a seizure and die. So there's that. Okay, next one. Okay, so this next one was to delete Daivd from the Daivd and Ellie fight. Now what happens here, I don't think it's a result of what I did, but this T-pose sliding around they're doing out there, it's really kind of creepy, so I decided to include it in the video. So, yeah. But anyway, Daivd doesn't exist, so let's go open the door and meet Daivd, apparently. And the camera just gets locked in place, and Ellie kind of just struggles with her inner self, with her inner demons. And we just kind of sit here on this screen and just hear some grunts. And then camera swooshes back to her, and you can not continue or do absolutely anything. So anyway, here's where you beat Daivd, and I have deleted him after I beat him. So Ellie kind of just struggles here against nothing. Once again, probably just fighting her inner demons.
Fuck you.
I think she needs counseling or something, because this is not normal behavior. So here she is, and she kind of just thinks about Orange Monkey Eagle and has a brain aneurysm and dies. Okay, so for this part I was asked to remove all the infected from the game and see what happens during this Ellie and Daivd section. Basically what Daivd does, he just runs around the room looking for infected, but the infected never come. So the game just kind of cycles through the events, and it went on to this one where you have to move the cabinet. Ellie gets grabbed by nothing, so you were never in any danger here. And then he walks around the room some more, and the game just flips over to the next event where he opens the door, and this window kind of breaks itself. And the game just basically cycles through the events until you get up to this part where he doesn't shoot the infected, the clicker, and then nothing happens. You can't get the ladder, you can't continue, so there's that. For this, someone requested I remove all the weapons from the end of the game, so to see how the AI reacts, and basically it just turns, when you remove all the weapons, the game just turns into a giant bout of fisticuffs. So here's some random fighting footage. So yeah, it's pretty much a cakewalk, because since nobody can shoot you, you pretty much win every single battle with just tapping square. So there's that. That's how the whole thing plays out, just nothing but punching. Okay, now this one was to remove all the water from this bus part of the game to see what would happen when Ellie gets when Ellie drowns and stuff. So basically this is what's happening right now without water. He kind of just plays out like normal. He falls into the bus and just kind of like floats inside the bus. I can't get rid of the little water effects, I don't think, but yeah, so this happens. So the bus is about to crash, it crashes, and Ellie's sort of like falls down and floats away in the thin air with some spores. So I'm not controlling Joel at this point. This is like an animation he's playing. Okay, there definitely is no water here, but since the game has put you in a swimming state and you're not in water, the game's way to cope with that is just to not let you move. So you're basically just stuck here until your oxygen runs out, and then your health, and then you die. So there's that. Now this request was to remove Ellie from the end of the game. As we step into the surgery room, we see Ellie's not there, and neither are the doctors for some reason. But since Ellie's not there, I can't pick her up and I can't continue. So I saved the game after I had taken Ellie outside, and then it lets you play, with Ellie gone, it lets you play this part of the game like it was just a normal combat section, which is actually kind of cool. I didn't have any upgrades on this part, so it was really hard to aim, but see, you just go nuts on these guys. It's actually like pretty damn cool. Oh, it's pretty easy to get captured here as well, so as soon as they touch you, you die, and they take away an invisible Ellie, and you die. Also, this elevator's closed for some reason, and it doesn't open. I don't know what to do. But you can just fight as much as you want, but this kind of happens if you stand there for a few seconds. So I got a lot of requests to delete things from the intro of the game, like cars blocking the way and stuff, and the infected. And the best result I got out of all of that was deleting the infected, which lets me pretty much walk wherever I want. I can go back to where before we crashed the car. Since there's no infected, there's nothing to instant kill you, so I can just walk wherever I want. So here I am down near the gas station, and here's me walking straight into the gas station flames and being completely impervious. Love that frame rate, by the way. Here's me walking up a random street that you're not supposed to be able to go up. And here's me going down to visit the movie theater, straight past the policeman. They don't seem to mind. Straight through the fire, because Joel is apparently a Terminator. We can read that up close if we want to. Here's further down the street that the theater's on, and you can see a very high quality door down here. For some reason, way too high quality for something you can never even see, but oh, we'll let it pass. And I can't get rid of the cutscene trigger here. I just wanted to share that, just to be clear. One day I'll figure out how to get rid of it. And so yeah, that was an interesting little experiment into doing what people ask. Some good things happened, some things not so good things happened. If I didn't do your request, it's most likely because it didn't work or nothing interesting happened. So might be able to do this again, I don't know, we'll see. Thanks for watching. See ya!